Hello, Eagle parents. Hey, it's Dr. Adrian bringing you this week's update. Unfortunately, right off the bat, you're going to see the COVID numbers, um, and we're not excited to report these numbers. Obviously, you see there we have 5 positive cases this week, 3 of which came in today. Through the contact tracing that we've done, we had to quarantine 56 students. 6 students are excluded and 15 returned. Not the numbers that we hope for, not the numbers that we want. Hopefully, those numbers will get better in the next few weeks, but something that we need to keep on and keep monitoring and do the best we can to keep our students safe here at DHS. The next item on the agenda is the parent-teacher conferences. As you're aware, the format was a little different this year due to the circumstances. The Rather than just having random appointments, stopping in and seeing your teachers in the gym or the commons area, we had the scheduled appointments. I've included a survey here to get your feedback on that. We used Pick a Time, the software, to schedule those appointments, and some people had a few problems with it. We apologize for that. We weren't really good with it either on our end. It took us some time to work through that. But having said that, after working through it, we feel a lot more confident with that particular app. And if we have to use it in the future, we'll do a lot better job with that. But if you have, 2 or 3 minutes, complete that survey on that. That'd be wonderful. We'd appreciate that. Item number 3 is a second semester plan. It talks about what we will be doing for remote learning in the second semester. So please take a look at that plan. And item number 4 is a very important item on this agenda because we need you to complete this survey right here if you plan to change your students' learning from in person to remote or from remote to in person for the next semester. Okay, it's very important that we have you complete that survey and you give us good information because we use that information to build the master schedule. And it is a tedious process. One takes us a lot of time, and it's only really any good if we have good information going into it. So please make sure you complete that by Sunday evening. Okay. Um, the next thing on the agenda is just a couple terms that we wanted to go over this week because they popped up last week during parent-teacher conferences, and I've had a few parent meetings that they've popped up in, and people aren't always familiar with what we're talking about when we talk about the growth mindset. But you see the definition there about with growth mindset. The mindset is that we believe that through hard work, through persistence, through preparation and practice, someone's ability can get better at doing something. You can get better at um, a skill or a task. So, for instance, we don't believe in a fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset would be an example of a student saying or a parent saying, "My student's not very good at math," or "My student's not a very good writer," or I'm not a very good at data collection in science," or whatever that case is. The growth mindset would say, "I'm not really skilled at those yet, but I'm going to get better through hard work, through preparation, and through persistence." So if we set that limitation on a student, if we say, "Hey, I'm not very good at that," we've already limited that student. And we don't believe in that because we know that through hard work, dedication, preparation, and persistence, skills can improve in people. So please help us foster that growth mindset in our students. I think it's extremely important. We don't want them to be defeated out of the gate. Okay. Um, Along those terms, more terms, I guess one that would go hand in hand with that is self-efficacy. And that is the belief that you have in yourself to create or produce a specific result. So students with a high level of self-efficacy may not be the students with the highest IQ in the class, but they believe in their ability to determine their result. And the growth mindset goes hand in hand with self-efficacy. And we're trying to foster those in our students. So if you can, think about it through the growth mindset lens and help us foster those things. A couple other terms that I wanted to go over again because it came up at the end of the grading period. The term process grade and product grade. The process grade is basically the daily work, the homework that's turned in, the formative assessments that's being used in class to determine whether students are grasping concepts. And that's typically like a homework grade or an exit ticket sometimes even. Where a product grade is a summative exam where it's a quiz, testing your knowledge at the end of a unit. It's a paper, an essay, whatever it is, a lab report. That would may be a summative exam or assessment, and that would be a product grade. So the difference in those is the process grades are typically uh, they're only about 20% of the student's grades, okay? But the product grades, the test quizzes, lab reports, essays, those are 80% of the grades. So be familiar with that because that does throw some people off a little bit. But those are the terms that we use here at DHS, and I believe the middle schools use them as well. And I think the elementary buildings are using those, starting to use those as well. So just wanted you to be familiar with the vernacular that we use in the schools. The last item on the agenda is listening groups, and that's something we're going to try uh, virtually with our remote students. And it's a process that we're experimenting with our group in the building called the 12 Eagles, where we can get together with an adult facilitator and talk through some different things. Like the first thing we would talk through is COVID. And we would ask a series of questions like, what are your perceptions of COVID? How has it impacted your life? What are some things that you can do now to counteract any negative impacts it's had? So we can get in touch with our students and talk through some things and see exactly how they're feeling and hopefully give them someone that they know is listening to them. So if you hear something about listening groups coming out, though, that's what we're referring to. And again, we're doing a little pilot test here with our group, the 12 Eagles, and we hope to roll those out here in the next couple of weeks with our remote learners. Other than that, a lot of different information there, a lot going on. We're gearing up. I said we're going to be focused on that master schedule for the second semester here in the next 2 weeks, um, and monitoring our COVID numbers and doing everything we can to mitigate uh, the impact that COVID has here at DHS. So until then, obviously, if you have questions, please shoot me an email. But until then, you stay healthy and you stay classy, Dunlap. Thank you.